A woman went all out and decided to sleep with 100 men in one day. Hi, I'm Roberto Romero, clinical psychologist, and on this channel we talk about everything related to, of course, psychology. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Before starting this video, I want to remind you that I give in-person therapy. And if you're out of the city, I got you because I also give online therapy. So if you need a consultation, please feel free to reach me out on my social media, my phone number, my email. All of them will be listed down below on the description box as well. But before that, really quick, I just wanted to hop in to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope that you're ending 2024 in the best way possible and that you will start 2025 with the right food. I hope that you all can accomplish your dreams and goals, that you and your loved ones are always happy and healthy. In what regards to me, I'm gonna keep doing what I have been doing this year, which is debunking all these woke, progressive topics that are masked as empathetic and inclusive, but in reality are promoting mental illness, all from an ethical and responsible perspective. So if you wanna support me, I will be really grateful. For 2025, I want to grow this community. But yeah, blessings, happiness, health for all of you. But right now, let's jump right into the video. OnlyFans is a platform founded for creators to make a little bit more of income by posting exclusive content for their subscribers. But somehow it became the grief of PORN, which will refer as porn because I don't want to be striked and I don't want to bleep this entire video out. It seems people saw the potential pornographic content had on this platform and how easy it was to profit from it. For feminist women especially promoted this whole thing as the easiest way to become girl bosses, independent and empower females because they were able to make their own money and use their bodies however they wanted. But how far can one person go to make money out of their own body and how it affects their mental health? There has been a documentary going viral on social media called I Slept with 100 Men in One Day, which was posted here on YouTube. I watched it all to be able to make this video. This documentary was directed by Josh Pieters, who is a prominent YouTuber and was curious about Phillips, who set a challenge for herself: sleep with 100 men in one day. Pieters followed the entire process for one whole month until the big day to hopefully bring a little bit more insight on the online prostitution world. I first want to make an analysis of Lily's context to understand why she took such a decision. Lily was very clear by saying she has been this way, sexually free, for a long time. She emphasized she used to sleep around with everyone while she was in university already, and she thought, why not monetizing out of something that she really enjoys doing? And she joined OF, which caught my attention from the get-go. In psychology, it's very known that usually people that go through life sleeping around with a lot of people may have some personal issues. Sometimes it can be due to a problematic relationship with their parents or main caregivers, self-esteem issues for the same previous reason, maybe bullying, or sometimes due to unsolved doubts about themselves during teenage, which is key for building one's identity. In tragic cases, could be because of trauma caused by SA, or because people have been manipulated by social movements, in this case feminism, in which getting naked, giving your body away to everyone is considered liberating and empowering, which I found to be most likely Lily's case, as she talks about having a good relationship with her parents.
You've obviously spoken to your parents about this, right?
I actually haven't. My parents know what I do, but I'm not on the phone to them every day going, oh, you know, I just got DP'd, I'm 17 guys today, or this and that. They don't need to know the logistics.
Of course.
I do feel a little bit like embarrassed being like, Mom and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
Why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do. Doesn't mean to say my parents are like gonna disown me or hate me or anything like that. I just don't want them to think less of me, you know?
But at the same time, I can see there might be something she won't talk about our relationship. I understand it because it is not what the documentary is about, but I really want to highlight that parents being okay with their kids showing their naked bodies on the internet is odd, as healthy parenting would definitely put limits on that. But at the same time, Lily is 23 and there is only so much her parents can do as she's an adult. They could have recommended her to not do OF, but if she as an adult didn't want to listen, there are boundaries they probably weren't able to cross no matter how much they wanted to do so. Lily herself recognized that OF is probably not what her parents wanted her to do, and I mean, you can see it a little bit as it seems they supported her to go to university and get a degree. Her mom apparently calls her every day to know if she's okay. So her exposing herself in a pornographic way on OF is most likely coming from feminist liberation, which I also want to point out that is selfish. She talked about her acquaintances subscribing to her OF, including former classmates and her dad's friends. Yes, it's weird, those people are subscribing to her OF as well. There is a lot we can say about those men too, including that they might suffer from porn addiction, but the fact that Lily said she doesn't really care about what people say. It is okay to put yourself first, but these days it has gone way too far. I guess she wants to make money, but if she has a good relationship with her parents, if she truly loves them and respects them, it would have been great for her to think about the damage she potentially was going to do to her parents, the ones that she cares about. Unfortunately, with modern mindsets, that doesn't happen because they are so centered in the individual as a person without taking into account the overall context and environment of said human being, which should change for the better because mental health is achieved by many things in a personal aspect, but interpersonal as well.
I'm sleeping with 100 guys in a day. That is the definition of a surely.
Would you refer to yourself as a feminist?
Yeah. At the end of the day, doesn't feminists mean like you just want equal rights for boys and girls? And yeah, I do what I want and I do it because I enjoy it. I think there are obviously some women that maybe go into it because they have to or need the money and stuff like that, or they're kind of coached into it by men. But my personal experience is I've only ever felt empowered by the fact that I'm making money off something that I think guys will do anyway. Guys are always going to sexualize me, so I may as well try and profit off that bit.
I mean, not all guys are going to sexualize you.
I don't really know. I think I'm not, maybe not all guys, but a ton would. I mean, I'm like a part of the problem. It's so hard because like doing extreme stuff like this is not normal. And I think then guys are probably going to expect girls to maybe be as strong as me and sleep with this many guys and take it up with us or do stuff like that isn't real life sex. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around.
But you do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people forget it is my fantasy and this is what I enjoy. And so
biologically speaking, women were supposed to be more reasonable than men. Unfortunately, feminism has spread this idea that we have to be equal to men, but it hasn't been for the better. Yes, we're able to work, to vote, to dress the way we want, but after getting fair things that were logical to ask for, it somehow went out of control, and now feminism is just being more reactive and impulsive, just as mostly men are. Everything women hate about men is basically what females are aiming to do to be equal, which is sad because they are going against their own nature. What is even more curious is that Josh told her, not all men are going to sexualize you, pointing out a generalization Lily has towards males, which is a cognitive distortion. But she tried to rationalize her meaning of feminism by basically saying, Well, men sleep around with everyone, why shouldn't I? Trying to justify why she's giving away her body in such a wild manner and shows peak ultra-feminist way of thinking, which is not stable. I gotta say, Josh was very ethical when doing this documentary. That is why he interviewed another OF model, Alex, so he wouldn't just put his own personal opinion out there. Curiously, Alex said she wished that Lily's challenge was a hoax because it was for sure taking a huge toll on her physical and psychological health. Alex also pointed out that sometimes OF can get challenging as every day her colleagues do crazy things for money, and if you don't do them as well, you will lose followers and income, forcing these models to go against their values, their morals, their will. She literally said she started just posting bikini pictures, but when she opened her eyes, she was already fully naked in front of a camera, which shows how porn makes you emotionally numb, which long term, when you realize what you've done, can be traumatic, and not only for the ones producing it, but also its consumers. When day 0 arrived, it was clear to see Lily was really anxious. She tried to play it cool, but honestly, it was impossible. How was she going to be relaxed if 100 unknown men were showing up to sleep with her? Needless to say, many people that sign up canceled last minute because maybe they realized it was not a sane thing to do. So she didn't even get to see a picture of the people she was supposed to choose beforehand, and even more concerning, she really risked herself to get STIs because the people that signed up before at least had to present those tests, but they ended up recruiting anyone for the sake of breaking an empowering record, which is not good.
Just as proceedings were about to commence, we were asked to leave. It was hard not to feel concern for Lily as we left the house. She seemed more apprehensive about what she was doing than she had done over the past few weeks. Perhaps the reality of the situation was beginning to dawn on her. It certainly was for me.
It was just weird. Like, that's all I can describe it as. It's just so weird. Like, I think Lily seemed a bit more nervous than she seemed throughout this, but still, like, kind of up for it. I just cannot believe in the middle of this, like, super affluent suburb, this girl is about to just have a load of strangers, 100 strangers, in someone's Airbnb.
When she accomplished her goal, we were able to see the room, which was disturbing. She narrated the whole process she did to make the men feel comfortable, and she also commented that after 30 men, she was just acting robotic, dissociated, and doesn't even remember the faces of said men. I mean, I hope she wasn't expecting something different. Hookup culture alone makes you numb to meaningful, intimate relationships. It causes you to feel insecure to really bond with people, even unconsciously. It generates many issues in your sexual life, and all of those things can come with severe depression, anxiety, PTSD, sleeping issues, and that is just scratching the surface.
It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it, like...
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry. It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute. I think I was you know when I talked to you last, like I was not nervous, it was like the day before, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good. It was more, I guess the interactions when like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like, you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like, kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit.
First, she says this is not for the weak girls, basically implying that strong girls are up to sleep with everyone, being promiscuous, and if not, you're weak. Feminist core. But honestly, it's quite the opposite. If you're a girl, a woman that thinks not giving your body away makes you weak, it really isn't. It shows you have a strong mindset, firm values, a determined personality, that you take care and love yourself so much that you value your intimacy. It means you have a healthy relationship with yourself and with people. Please don't let yourself go just because a social movement says so. It will do more harm than good. Now, on the other hand, her words don't seem genuine. To me, they scream denial. She's trying to say it was cool to do what she did, but sometimes your body screams other things. Her body was submitted to extreme stress by how long she was there with so many people, and that is why she dissociated. But even if she was acting like a robot, the brain is still getting overwhelmed without you even noticing, and then you have emotions that you find no explanation for. That is why she was crying. She said she broke down like that because she didn't satisfy all of the guys, which sounds like her trying to rationalize her feelings. However, if that was really her main concern, it still shows how broken she is by what she does, the cognitive dissonance she suffered from by prostituting herself, because that is what this is. And we can see she's not mentally in a good place, because days after crying like that, she went over to her social media to announce that she was going to aim to sleep with 1,000 men, leaving not only Josh Pieters confused, but everyone that watched the documentary.
But my confusion was only added to in the days following our filming with Lily, as she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
My main concern is not only with her actions alone, but how OF has been promoted as an empowering business these days, a lie that many women have believed, and now they just don't care anymore and are posting their bodies for the sake of getting easy money. But let me tell you something. Just in the US, there are 1.4 million women on OF, and they only make $150 per month. Which means if you go there, you're just selling your body for nothing. And even if you are from that minority that makes millions out of pornography there, that doesn't erase the damage you have done to yourself mentally, physically, socially, spiritually. Here's when the phrase money is not everything makes sense. I was also baffled by how feminists on social media were defending Lily. These are just a few comments, but there were plenty of them. But let me tell you something. This just portrayed their lack of morals. They complain every day about women being sexualized, objectified, but a lot of the times they are doing that themselves. But they don't want to assume their responsibilities, and they look for other people to blame for the consequences of their actions, like they did here. They are blaming men exclusively and tagging them as abusers, when Lily was the one organizing the whole thing. But not only her, but her staff composed by women that are most likely feminists too. And ironically, they were probably the ones cheering for Lily to do this by telling her, oh, you're such an empowered girl boss. But guess what? They don't really care about her. They just want their paychecks. Which shows that sometimes women are literally women's worst enemy. Now, I know you may tell me you're just talking about the women. I mean, Lily is the starring of this whole thing, and Corn on OF is promoted as an empowering job for women That is why I focused on them. However, I do want to talk about the 100 men that were involved in this thing. They're creepy for sure, and they do have many red flags psychologically speaking. First of all, the fact that they were willing to sleep with one woman knowing they were going to do it after so many other men and that they had the chance to be the lucky 100 already says a lot. Where is the self-respect and dignity from these men? Do they seriously despise themselves so much that they risk their health just to sleep with one woman, an online prostitute? This really shows that we have a serious problem when it comes to corn consumption too. People are getting seriously addicted to it, and it has tons of repercussions for mental health, including isolation, social interaction issues, sexual dysfunctions long-term, dissatisfaction, tons of cognitive distortions, and more. And it also shows how normalized hookup culture is. The fact that these men travel from any part of the world and spend a ton of money just to be with Lily for 5 minutes, it's crazy. Just so they can brag about sleeping with her. In the documentary, they even showed the message of a guy that wanted to lose his virginity, which tells me how messed up sexuality is nowadays. People are so desperate to do anything just to not be a virgin anymore. Mind you, many of the guys that participated or wanted to participate in this thing were barely legal, which means young people are depending so much on hookup culture and casual relationships to feel cool and fit in. A problem that needs to be fixed, because otherwise we will have tons of people suffering from plenty of mental illnesses very soon due to having a promiscuous life and dealing with unwanted consequences. If anything, this whole documentary should be a call out to ultra feminists to wake up and realize that giving away your body is not empowering. It's destroying yourself. If you all complain about being sexualized, seen as objects, why do you contribute to that? You're just giving the patriarchy what they allegedly want, which is not empowering for you, but for them. It would be the right time to rethink your life choices. For real. To men, particularly young men, seriously, this is also a message to stop being so impulsive and use your brain more often. Men in general have always been pushed to be more involved into hookup culture for the sake of proving their masculinity. But in the end, it can have a lot of consequences physically and mentally. Think about that. And for everyone, this should be a message to stop enabling OF models, because by consuming their content, by making it viral, you're giving them more power but damaging yourself in the process. Porn addiction is real. PTSD caused by prostitution is real. They are not a game, as they damage your mind significantly and for life. Please go outside, touch some grass, build healthy and meaningful relationships with real people you get to meet in real life. And remember, there are other ways to make money which don't require you to sacrifice your overall health, which might take time and effort, yes, but honestly, it's more satisfying to reach a goal with hard work rather than doing it knowing you messed up your life. Is there something you learned from this video or that you would like to add to the conversation? Leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to like and share with someone that may find this useful. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out for more interesting psychology content. Thanks for watching.